she's one of these, grab the cheek and pull. Oh, can't even hardly think of her, bless her heart.
So, Rosemary, can you tell me a little bit about the stories, when it was referring to the stories to tell children or kids to keep them safe? Can you speak to that a little bit?
More specifically, what is your thought on lying to a kid, telling them not to play in the dark? You know, there's always a fine line of telling the kid the big bad wolf story, or you know, certainly holding some truths and some foundations of having to tell kids that the boy who cried wolf, you will pay a price
Yes.
for all your decisions. But that third paragraph really was, as I always looked at it, was kind of how to talk to somebody who doesn't understand, or give them a set of rules or laws.
I agree with that you shouldn't have unreasoning fear of nighttime just because it's dark. What I am really blown away by is the fact that these same caveats we give our kids are not just now. They're every single generation's got them. And I mean, the Mayas, the Aztecs, the Egyptians, all these people have the same things, and they aren't listening to one another. They have them. And why is that? Because the kids are kids. Anyway.
So, do you agree it's okay to?
I don't think you need to scare them.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I mean, you never really fibbed to your kids. You flat out told them this is why, and they certainly have a better view of life than most kids their own age. So, but of course, that's multiple different teachings from the Bible. So that's I want your opinion.
Right.
What is your opinion of putting in something that's a little exaggerated?
Well, my mother, when she said no, that was the Bible. I mean, she was, you know, we didn't have the, well, one time, for example, that I decided I would go against her, I got a glass of iced tea in the face. I mean, another time, the kids were running around doing something they weren't supposed to be doing, chasing, knocking things down. She picked up a vase that she always put that bittersweet that's outside there, always put that bittersweet in that vase. And she just picked up the vase and just went against the stone fireplace. So, I mean, we knew, you know, whatever God said, we knew what Mama said.
So, what is your belief about why does stress seem to cause a test of faith for the individual, for you? Why? What would you
Experience.
say? Okay.
Really, experience. I've had my own little tests, and I was just saying to John Martin, I guess it was this morning, I think I'll spend some time in purgatory for sure for the way I treated some of my teachers. I had one who was, come on, she was the best. But she kept me after school every night, and she's meaner than a junkyard dog, and toward the end, my mother came and picked me up, you know, but John Martin came and said to me the other day, you know, there's a third grade teacher in church here, this was up in Lawrence, would you like to go talk to her? And I said, no. And here I am, big old lady here. I don't want to talk to her.
You were in the third grade?
Mm-hmm. She's a mess. As a matter of fact, she came after Mass one day and she said, well, Miss Hughes, how nice to see. And there's Rosemary. I got behind my mom. Hey, didn't want to talk to her, I hated her. I just soon, she reminded me of a snake. So,
She tested your faith?
she tested my faith, for sure.
Well, hold up. Okay. So, Okay, so the first comment you stated was that you were going to go to purgatory because on how you treated or felt towards certain people. One of them being this teacher. Is that accurate? Wouldn't so? But would you still believe that that was a bad thing?
Well,
You have certain innate qualities to discern if somebody's telling you a fib, or if someone's telling you the truth, or if they're genuine, and these are all innate body language, tones, and more specifically, there might be something behind her being a snake. That's just protection. So would you still hold yourself responsible as far as?
she was the first person to get a master's degree in the state of Kansas, and I remember thinking, if I ever was a teacher, I wouldn't be that one. And she was giving me bits, she's one of these, grab the cheek and can't even hardly think of her, bless her heart. Anyway, I sat there when I was supposed to be doing my math after school and wrote the nastiest note I could think of. And I thought, and it's people like you, and I was pretty good in language arts. And so
Did you give her the note?
I thought, I'll put it right there. And I thought, not a good idea. So I just kind of snaked my hand over to get it. She got it. And she read it and she called my mother and whoa.
Did you have out of curiosity, did you put her name on the paper?
No. But I mean, everybody knew. I was sitting there by myself, getting my cheeks pulled.
Well, what's sad is now that's considered therapeutic, as far as now the counselors want you to write a letter and don't mail it.
Just to put it out there.
Just put it out there.
And you talk about being, I was just listening to you, at the end I heard you say, bless her heart.
Yeah.
See, I mean,
Well,
you said that here you were maybe going to purgatory because of how you felt or what you said,
boy. I mean,
and now you're,
he came over to her and found out who she was and was gonna match us up and, not me.
In Psalms 91, there's a line that states that viewing God or Yahweh who has no faults. So that sparked a question. That is true. God has no faults. But how does that pertain to his creations? I mean, he created himself into a form of man in Jesus. Therefore, that human body had to have faults. But what about other higher celestial beings?
They did it.
So, sorry, ask the question again.
Okay. The higher celestial beings made their own choice.
okay.
And they didn't get a second chance because they were a higher celestial being. They had more sense than we do.